Hello there. I am honored and surprised to be the one to greet you this year. Regardless, be kind, live well, and happy Halloween. This is Nobody's Home by Christopher Shavers. Act 1. Roy was looking at his emptied room. He was filled with pride and nostalgia. He had lived in his apartment for 7 years. Straight out of high school, through the rough times of college, 3 failed relationships, and 4 lousy jobs. He said bye to the room, walked out, and hugged his former roommate one last time. His roommate gave him a bottle of alcohol, and they parted ways. Roy was sad to leave, but ecstatic to start his first home. He reminisced during the drive over. Once in front of the house, he was in complete disbelief. He was never sure that this day would ever happen. His first house was just a step away. The movers were on standby waiting for him to go inside first. Roy took his time walking in. Stepping into the large open front room, he looked at the chandelier hanging above him. Smiling ear to ear, Roy let out a victorious yelp. Roy ran around the house celebrating as the movers brought things in. As night rolled around, Roy laid on his bed completely exhausted. He called his childhood friend.
Moved in.
No way. Congrats, my man. So, when is the housewarming?
Do I really have to? I just got the place. I'd rather not have it trashed.
It can be a small thing. Just a handful of people, some alcohol, music, and some fun.
You're crazy, man. Come on. It's never small with you.
It will this time. Listen to me. I promise.
Okay, but it better stay small.
2 nights later, Roy found himself with a full house, friends, family, multicolored lights, entertainers of all kinds. He was trying to keep everything in order, but it was obviously too much for him. His childhood friend saw him sit down in the kitchen and approached him.
Roy, what's up, my man?
What's up is that it's not small.
What? Of course it is. You can still see the floor and the gaps in the room. Come on, man. Let loose, have a few drinks, and kick back.
Come on. Okay, 1 or 2 drinks, but that's it.
Hours later, Roy was very drunk and dancing with random people as his childhood friend cheered and recorded. The entire house partied into the late hour. Just as everyone was starting to leave, it began to rain. Something that Roy's childhood friend took as a sign to party harder. Which they did. More drinks, more dancing, more everything. That was until a partygoer informed Roy that a homeless man was at his door. The very drunk Roy wobbled over and slammed the door in the homeless man's face. The partygoers cheered. The homeless man rang the doorbell again. Roy opened it.
What do you want?
I was hoping to talk to the owner.
She's not even here.
The other guy said you were the owner. After an uncomfortable silence, Roy closed the door in the homeless man's face. The homeless man began to beg for shelter from the storm. Roy just instructed the music to go up. Act 2. The sunrise woke Roy out of his sleep. His head was spinning and his stomach was in great pain. He couldn't remember much about last night. He couldn't believe the mess that was his house. He could, however, see a figure leaning against the mailbox. Going outside, he was swallowed by guilt. There was the old man, pale and wet. Roy tried not to throw up. Seeing a text from his childhood friend, Roy realized that he doesn't have long until someone will be coming over and seeing the homeless man dead on his property. He panicked. He dragged the homeless man to the back of his house. Roy spastically cleaned. Roy frantically cleaned. Roy obsessively cleaned. His thoughts were racing.
What was that? What was the old man doing here last night? Was he sick? Why didn't anyone call the police? How much did he drink? What? Why? When? Roy, you are a good person. You don't need anyone. It can't just be us. They trashed the house. They didn't even clean. They don't care about us. They don't care about you.
Roy's eyes started to gain a light green hue. He stood up feeling calm, as all he could think about was getting away from everyone. A loud banging at his front door snapped him out of his mild trance. His childhood friend eventually just walked in. They argued about what really happened last night. In their argument, Roy reveals that the homeless man died last night and is haunting him. The childhood friend laughed at Roy. Frustrated, Roy took his childhood friend to the back of the house. The homeless man was not there. The childhood friend made fun of Roy and told him that he needs to sober up. The childhood friend stared and started texting. Roy felt a hand on his shoulder. Roy, who is this traitor? We don't need him. We don't need people who are going to ruin our lives. Roy's eyes gained a light green hue as he looked over at his childhood friend. Act 3. Roy's former roommate walked up to Roy's home. His home was very unkept. He could tell that something was terribly wrong. He cautiously made his way to the front room. Knocking very hesitantly, the former roommate felt very uneasy. He looked down and thought he could see some kind of light green air coming from inside the house. Roy opened the door slightly, only exposing half his face. Hey man, haven't heard from you in like a month. Is everything okay?
Everything's okay.
Your yard looks pretty bad. You want some help with it?
Everything's okay.
Come on, Roy. This isn't like you. Is something wrong? Roy's eyes seemed to adjust to make direct eye contact.
Everything is okay.
Roy, is someone there? Is someone forcing you to say that? The former roommate noticed what appeared to be a silver-skinned hand with the fingers fused together on Roy's shoulder. He leaned slightly and saw a silver-skinned creature with no eyebrows and a 4-sectioned mouth staring at him. The roommate fell back in fear. Roy looked at the former roommate. Nobody's home. And that was Nobody's Home by Christopher Shavers. If you enjoyed this story, give it a like, subscribe, and look forward to more stories and shorts. If you wish to read the story, it is on Vocal.media. Links for that and other stories from our website will be down below. Special thank you to our voice actors, Deimos Loki and Avery J. Links to their work and where to find them on social media will be down in the description below. Thank you, and enjoy your spooky season.